Hello and welcome to Bookmas Day 5. Today we are going to be talking about my favorites of 2020. So I picked 10. I feel like the magical number is 10 when we talk about these things. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Criers War. I buddy read this with Haley at the very beginning of the year. I have not read Ironheart yet. I don't even have it, but I need to get it. I will probably reread this before I read Ironheart, just because when I look back on what I have posted about this, all I can say are good things, but I cannot quite remember about it. I know I kind of remember the love story about the two girl main characters, but that's all really it. So we will be rereading this, but I wrote it down that it was my favorite of the year. I read so much that sometimes I forget things, and my bad. One that I have not forgotten is Where Dreams Descend. I don't know how many times I have talked about this book in the last, like, what, 4 months? And I just love it. We talked about it, I think we talked about it in one of the videos that I've already posted, but I am so excited for the sequel. I'm ready for it to be out. I don't think I need to reread this. Even though I do love it, I think this wouldn't be on the category of rereading, but I love magicians, and this was really good. When I finished, where is it? Addie LaRue, I debated a lot which one is number one, and I think I'm gonna have to go with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Where Dreams Descend, you know, it was on number one for the longest time, and then I read this in November, and I just want to cherish this book for like ever. If you have not read this, you should. V.E. Schwab is such a good writer that I plan on reading This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet again. And then I need to read her other books, but this is the most magical. This say 2020, honestly. I am still excited that this was gifted to me. Like, it was my first, this is the first book that I was gifted by one of you. Haley does not count on giving me books because she's given me a lot, but she's my IRL friend. And this, my friend Haley actually just finished reading this, and it was really funny with her text, but she loved it too. It's good, it's pretty. Like, I don't know how many times to say, hey, read this, but I will probably be talking about this book for a while. And I know a lot of other people I have, but this one is actually one of those that actually deserves the hype. Tomorrow we'll be talking about books that just should not deserve the hype, but this one definitely, that one is definitely great. The next one we're going to talk about is Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. This is the sequel to Wicked Saints. I really loved Wicked Saints last year. I really loved Ruthless God this year. Malachias, I'm like, that's the, I know everyone has their like elite bad boy, but no, Malachias is it for me. I have both Owl Crate versions, and I have not seen anything for the third book with Owl Crate. And I will be a little upset because my covers are black and the original covers are white, and it's not, I'll still get it. Like, it'll be okay. Like, I'll get over it, but it would be nice if they could it would be nice if they would have this again, please. But yeah, this is a sequel to Wicked Saints. I highly recommend listening to the audiobook for these because the narrators are just so good. I think it's the same for both of them, and the guy I think did like that one person in Six of Crows that had like one chapter or whatever. But if you need a dark fantasy, this is what you need. If you need something a little more lighthearted, is the Henna Wars. I read this for the Bratz readathon, and that's the only book that I read from that TBR because it was the group book. But oh my goodness, that was such an, I think I got the I read the first 13 chapters in one day, and then it took me a while to finish the rest of the book, but you know, that happens with me. Our main character in the Henna Wars has just come out as a lesbian. She is not accepted by her parents, and she is the only one who really told is her family. And then it comes out, and there is the group project and she decides to do henna, and another person decides to do henna, and it's just their rivalry and how much it means to our main character. And then the other girl doesn't do it for, I guess, good reasons for our main character. So she's like, it's this constant battle of her and herself and her family and just everyone in the school, and it's read it, please. Also, I read Clap When You Land. Oh my goodness, I was expecting some things to happen, but I was not expecting to be like, oh my god, here's a story. So Clap When You Land is about two sisters that don't know that they are sisters, and they find out that they are sisters because their dad dies when he was on a plane from one to the other, and it's just their journey of like grieving for their dad, and oh my gosh, I have a new sister, but also like, oh my gosh, my dad had this other family and he's not the person that I thought he was. I again highly recommend the audiobook for this one too. It's a good ride to go through, because I don't think there are a lot of books with, oh sorry, I don't know if I've read a lot of YA books that are like this. I think there's probably a lot of new adult, I don't know. I don't read a lot of new adult. I dabble in it every once in a while, but that was also a good book. The next one that I still can't believe that I read this year, it doesn't feel like I did, and that was Heart of Flames by Nikki Propreto. I love Crown of Feathers. I loved Heart of Flames. I am so excited for the third one. I'm also hoping that Owl Crate does a special edition with this one too. I know the covers are the same, it's just that they're sprayed, and I know I could do that myself, but I don't know if I want to do that. I would have to practice on books I don't care about first. But this is the sequel to Crown of Feathers. We go with Veronica and her whole journey from the second one, or the whole journey from the first one goes into this one. I started rereading Crown of Feathers to get into this one because I had the art, but I never finished it, and I was gonna plan on rereading this one, but then I didn't. I just started where I was and just finished where I was going, and it's so good. Crown of Feathers is another it is up in my nose. Crown of Feathers is one of the other ones that I highly recommend, and again, another good audiobook for you. Next, I read this when I was on vacation, and I read The Beautiful. Now, I barely was reading it, and then I was like, you know what, yeah, no, this is way better than Twilight. I started recommending it, like, if you're gonna read a vampire book, read The Beautiful. I have The Damned here. I have not read it yet. I need to read it before I run out of renews at the library. I read The Beautiful on the ebook. I even bought the ebook for this to read it, but I have not picked it up yet. I need to. This isn't technically on my October TBR, but neither was two books that are, sorry, wow, it's not October. This was not on my December TBR, but I have already added 2 other books to my December TBR, so we don't know. We might get into this, we might, but yes, if you are going to want to read vampire books and you don't like Twilight and you don't want to get into the hype, or you read it and you would like something better, read The Beautiful. And then the last book we're going to be talking about that I have also talked about a couple of times now is We Hunt the Flame. I'm so excited because January is almost here and We Free the Stars is almost here. I keep telling myself, I don't know why it took me so long to get into this, because I was supposed to buddy read it with Haley, and then she read it, and then I didn't end up reading it, and I was supposed to read it a million times. And I never did, but I finally did, and I love this book, and you should read it, and we should all talk about it, because she just came out with she's coming out with a new series too in like 2022, and so happy for that. So yeah, that are the favorites of 2020. What are your favorites? And tomorrow we will talk about our least favorites. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.